Hey everybody, this is Monica, your intuition and connection coach. And today I'm here with Jennifer Saliba. We're intimacy coach, and we are going to discuss a topic that's very important in our society these days. Why are so many people making the decision to divorce? And it's so prevalent that even people that I never expected to take this decision are doing it. And I see it every day in my practice. So Jennifer, how are you? Hello.
I'm fine, Miss you, Monica. How are
Me
you?
too. I
Hi,
love the
everyone.
background. The
Thank
background
you.
is so cool. So Jennifer, you see couples all the time. You're an intimacy coach. You train, you teach people this. Tell me, why are more and more couples deciding to divorce?
Yeah, unfortunately, Monica, it's happening a lot these days. And it's a topic that's usually we talk, me and you, we talk lighter topics, we choose nicer topics, but this time it's a hard conversation to have. But it's better to be proactive and decide to really have this tough talk than to wait until it's the end and we can do nothing about it. So the reasons, well, actually, there's many reasons, but
Okay,
I
let's
do
just give the
think,
top three reasons, and
yeah,
I'll give my top because I see it all the time.
I do really think that times that we, like the times we're passing by with, in like very hard times, usually usually become tipping points for our relationships. So when everything is smooth and life is easy, the relationship isn't tested and our couple isn't tested, and the intimacy really goes deeper when we have to be with each other 24 hours a day, when work is scarce, when the children are home, we're homeschooling. So crises like COVID-19 and what comes after it, like economical crisis, being at home, being away from our loved ones, but staying in a couple, we meet each other and we meet ourselves first. And this dynamic, this environment will test our relationship. And it's in these places where we know uh, if we'll continue together or if we won't. So if we like it or no, times like the times we're passing in now will test our relationship. And if we are oblivious to the fact that this relationship is being tested, is being really on the verge of maybe fading away, then we're not proactive in helping it to sustain. And slowly it's gonna fade. So we really need solid foundation for relationships to survive times like the times we are having now.
Okay, so maybe we put the phone on silence for a second.
I'm trying.
So I agree with you. I think also everything that's been bottling up for years, that we've said, okay, let's put it under the carpet. And we said, we'll accept this, we'll accept this, we'll accept this. And we've decided not to look at it because other things have taken priority. Now you're finally seeing the person in front of you. And you're seeing, maybe I married him 20 years ago, and really I'm a different person now. We don't have the same values. So there's many different things. Things could be, I've changed so much that this doesn't work anymore. I've done the inner work and stuff, and this is not working for me. And maybe you need to seek help and go and see somebody. And maybe this marriage can be saved if both people really want it.
I
And
agree.
maybe it won't be saved. And maybe you have to build a new relationship so you can work together to build a safe foundation, because you have kids involved. So you're going to have to build a new relationship anyway. So work must be done either way on your relationship.
I totally agree, Monica. And you know, we this is Meet
The dog.
Kiki.
Yeah,
She just passed
this is us
by.
having a conversation in real life. Okay, so the phone is
Yes,
gonna ring, the dog is going to pass. I don't know what else is gonna happen. So
yeah.
we're having real conversations
It's good
under
to
our
lighten
own
the
lives.
mood of the of the topic.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, actually, you're totally right. Sometimes in normal lives, we can avoid these deep thoughts. We are busy with home, with work, with our friends. But when we got isolated and we, like you said, we met the other and we met ourselves, and that is the most important part. Truth cannot be hidden in this case. So we are faced with the reality of things, with the real intimate details.
Okay. So we now know why it's happening. What tips do you have that can help a woman or a man who's watching our show now and is thinking, I've had it, I'm going to court? what tips do you have? They're at that tipping point. That's it, I'm done. What do you say to this person who is like, the number of the lawyer is
Shall I
there and
stay
she's done?
or shall I go?
Yes, and what steps can she take?
Well, actually, separation and divorce is a big thing. So, first of all, it's okay not to feel okay, especially with everything around us. So the most important thing is self-compassion. So she or he can act more in more logic and more reason. It's a very tough time between a couple, even if they choose to stay or not, and especially if there is children, because you are divorcing, the children aren't, so they should not be uh, like a pawn in your divorce game. They should not be collateral damage. And even if we say we'll never do it, sometimes rage, bitterness, so many hidden emotions will come into play, and sometimes we're blind. It's hard. Self-compassion is the key. But what I want to teach today or share is a tool that I usually use also with my clients by Dr. Terry Real, who is a fantastic psychologist, American psychologist, I think American, I'm not sure. So,
Okay, the nationality,
and
that's
he's a couple
therapist.
coach and
Okay.
yes, therapist. So he says, when you are on the verge of asking, should I stay or should I go? There's one question that you can ask yourself. He call it relational reckoning.
Mm,
And it states, I will read it so I'm not
okay.
wrong in any word.
Yeah,
Am
okay,
I
you do.
getting enough in this relation to make grieving what I'm not getting worth my while?
Ooh, powerful stuff.
Very. Am I getting enough in this relationship to offset the pain of what's wrong and what's lacking?
Ooh.
So if everything is on a balance, and even with, I know life cannot be put on a balance. There's lots of things on stake, emotions, feelings, but in a way, yes, we can if we ask ourselves the right question.
Mm, interesting. And
What do you think?
I think it's amazing. That's a good question. I was thinking there was another question I wanted to ask, but now I forgot it. But it's okay. What I wanted to say that it's very, very important that no matter what decision you make, to seek the help you need for yourself. This is not something you can do by yourself. You're going to have to seek tools, and also, no matter what, you have to sit down with that person to see, can it be safe? Does the other person also want to work on this? And even if he doesn't want to work on this, does he want to work? He must want to work on parenting. So you have to sit down with them and make it safe for the children. Because this transition is rocking the foundation of the children.
I agree.
Okay?
And
So
it's
you must
energy.
care about
The energy in the house. It will affect the children, and no
the children
child
will have to move from home to home.
exactly.
From someone who's been through divorce and have to have been through the grief, been through seeing my kids move from home to home and adapt. You have to work very well together, get trained. Doesn't matter if you like each other or not. You have to build that foundation for your children so that they feel no problem.
Our children passing behind our
That's normal life. It's all good. So you
even
have
though
to
I told them 1,000 times that I'm shooting, but it's a
unfortunately we
reaction now.
cannot
How can I
control our
be
children
proactive and not angry?
just be zen in the moment. We have to, I'm very adamant about this. We don't want to build trauma in our children. And this is a very traumatic event that happens in kids' lives. If it's not done in a safe environment where both parents make it safe for them. You don't like each other, go and do the work on yourselves in therapy, in coaching, and whatever. But the important thing is you come back together so that you build a safe home for both of you, where the kid can go from one parent to the other and feel safe, that my parents, you know what, they care about me, they're building a safe environment for me. So I grow up feeling safe. And then you also have to do the work on yourself, because the wounds that you have in this marriage didn't come from this marriage. It came from your childhood and from a lot of other traumatic things. So you don't want to re-attract the same type.
It's gonna become a pattern if you don't heal your wounds. I agree.
So either way, please seek the help you need.
And build a community, because it's in
build
this
a community.
Yes, in this time that you need your people, your tribe next to you. So you know, because you'll be down, you'll be, even if it's a very civilized divorce, it's a heavy energy, like Monica said. So a community is
it's vital. Yes, and get the help. Like there are communities. I had to go to a support group at the time that was support for separation, divorce. You know, and it was very, very important. And there was something I wanted to say. So this, what's happening, okay, is actual grief. It's like a death of somebody, okay? So when you go through divorce, it's the death of the idea of your family unit. You are grieving the mother, father, and children. It's a loss. You're also, it's actually maybe a lot more difficult than grieving a person who's passed, because a person who's passed is not coming back. You accept that. The person you were married to, you see him every week because you have to give the kids back. Okay, so it's very difficult to see that person that you were married to and now have a civil or an uncivil relationship with them, when you've had intimacy with them and very intimate, this, you know, you shared your life with them. So there's going to be grief and you must take the time to grieve.
I agree. And maybe next video, Monica, we talk about the stages of divorce also.
So this is just an intro to letting you know what's going on, and maybe give you some insight as to some tools, something to give you an idea as to why you're so ready.
And we are here on our pages.
Yes,
also.
we're here. We do this. I do the coaching of connecting back to yourself, doing the work that you need to. Jennifer does the intimacy part and all that. So whatever feels right to you, even if it's not us, get the help in your area, get the help for your kids. I work with children, I work with the families. So get what works for you, but do the work, because just because you filed the papers doesn't mean, aha, life has changed now. There's a lot of work involved in rebuilding a new foundation for you and your family. Okay, beautiful. Jennifer, thank you.
Thank you, Monica. Thank you for everyone also. And
Okay.
we're waiting for your questions.
Oh, and if you have questions, yes. So our next episode, we're calling them episodes now, but our next discussion will be answering your questions. So if you have any questions, just send them to me, send them to Jennifer. Maybe if you want, we can have you on the show. You can come on and you can ask the questions and we can answer. We
Or
don't
if
know
you have
yet.
any testimonials, you've been into this, you would like to share some tips, something happened with you, we
That
are
would be
here also to
wonderful.
listen.
We would like to start this conversation. We have to talk about this topic. It's an important topic. So this is our first one. We're going to do more. Give us the questions. Give us your insights. What did you think? What tips do you have? Anything? We're navigating this. This is the first one. We're just navigating. All right. Take care, everybody. Bye. Bye, Jennifer. Bye. Did you hear me? Bye. No? Okay. Maybe it cut on your side.